NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Friday, November 11th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There is also a Discord link in the description where the main server is currently completely free, as well as Patreon link is in the description below of this video where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks. For each given sport that I do play, I play NFL, college football, college basketball, and NBA player props on PrizePicks, multiple posts on Patreon every single day here. Again, I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. These are simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props here. Again, not gambling advice at all. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 total player props that I do like. Friday, November 11th. I believe we have 8 games on the slate today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So only 16 teams playing. Kind of a refreshing after we've had so many. I guess we only had 4 games yesterday, but this week's been pretty crazy with the NBA games in my opinion. Let's get into it. 2 total player props that I do like. Let's go. So the first one I like is going to be NBA first half prop, and this is one that I think if this doesn't hit, I'm never betting on him again. It's Anthony Davis over 12.5 first half points against the Sacramento Kings. I'm telling you guys right now, from the bottom of my heart, if Anthony Davis does not hit this, I will never bet. I'll never put him in a YouTube video ever again, because it's pretty insane. And if you guys don't know, I'm a Laker fan. I'm a diehard Laker fan, and I watch these games. And I see Anthony Davis running up and down the court, and it's sad, right? It really is sad, and it's going against everything I have to take the under on this one, but I have to take the over on this one last time for Anthony Davis, 12.5 against the Sacramento Kings, okay? First half points, he's hit this 3 of his last 5 games, right? So this is 2017 and 19, 3 straight games here, and then had 11 against the Clippers, just horrendous. This was crazy against the Clippers. He played horrible, and then against the Pelicans, he had 6. But let's get into this and why I'm taking the over on this one. So Anthony Davis, first half game log this season. Okay, 13 points is all we need, right? And first and foremost, before I even get any deeper, LeBron James has been ruled out of this game. Okay, he's out. He won't play in Friday's contest. Okay, he is not playing Friday. He's not playing today. Anthony Davis is the number 1 option on this team. Okay, let's just get that out the way. Anthony Davis, no LeBron James. Anthony Davis, number 1 option, okay? If Anthony Davis can't score 13 points in the first half as the number 1 option on the Lakers, he's done. So he's hit the over on this one, right? LeBron only hasn't played 1 game this season. So he's hit the over on this one 7 times in 10 games, okay? He's got 3 games where he misses the over, but he's hit the over 7 times in 10 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13, 15, 15, 16, 17, 19, and 20. All right? Anthony Davis, in the 2 games that he's hit the over on this one against Utah, right? His highest scoring first half games this season, 20 points in the first half and 19 points in the first half, right? 20 and 19 in the first half for Anthony Davis, both against the Utah Jazz, 1 on the road, 1 at home, right? If we take a look at this, opponent points in the paint, teams that allow the most points in the paint, the Utah Jazz right here, 57.5, right? Second most in the NBA. Look at who's the third most. The Sacramento Kings, 55.6 points in the paint to opponents, right below the Utah Jazz. Anthony Davis at 12.5 facing the Sacramento Kings tonight. Sabonis plays no defense. He plays no defense at all. Anthony Davis should be able to feast against Sabonis. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you just think about this, Anthony Davis scoring 13.5 points in the first half without LeBron James against Sabonis, it seems like a no-brainer. A year or 2 ago, 2020, you would have said this is insane line, that this should never be this low. Right, centers in the first half against the Kings this season, okay? Just take a look at this. Wiseman had 12, Bobo had 12, Bam Adebayo had 12, and Wendell Carter had 13. So none of the players, only 1 player hit the over on this one, Wendell. But none of these players here, Wiseman, even Mason Plumlee, Bobo, Bam Adebayo, and Wendell, none of these guys are the first option. Not one of these. You could say Wendell is maybe the 3rd, Bam Adebayo is probably the 3rd, Bobo is probably the 5th, Wiseman's probably the 10th, Mason Plumlee's probably the 5th, Mobley's probably the 4th, right? And these guys easily getting close to 13 points in the first half, right? Just absolutely insane, like that. The fact that Anthony Davis is at this point right here at 12.5 points. I'm smashing the over on this one. I'm telling you guys right now, let me know in the comments. If Anthony Davis does not hit this, we're banning him officially. No more player props on Anthony Davis. The formula is there. The on paper is there. Just take a look at this here. This is a quote from Anthony Davis after the last game they played. right? What he can do if LeBron James is out for any period of time. I just try to be more vocal and kind of just take on the role of being super aggressive. You still got me, Russ, to kind of the same way like we did in Utah, right? Where he did have in Utah 19 points in that first half. He's talking about this. But for me, the mindset switches to going out, being aggressive, and trying to find ways to help the team win. Whether it's more shots, now it's just my job to make these guys better. It's my job anyway, but it's heightened when someone like LeBron is out with everything he does on the floor. So again, for Anthony Davis, it all comes down to aggression and him being aggressive. Last player prop, we had him on Patreon. We had him over 21.5 points against the Clippers. He had like 17 with 7 minutes left. He takes one shot in like 6 minute span. Not aggressive at all. Just insane. So again, reminding you guys, if Anthony Davis doesn't hit, do not let me put him in a YouTube video ever again. Okay, Anthony Davis over 12.5 points is the first player prop today. First half points, Anthony Davis. I'm taking first half over full game because, I mean, if you take a look at full game for AD, he set this one time this season against Utah at 29. But I can't take the full game for AD. Foul trouble, a potential blowout. You know, the Lakers aren't very good this season. So I'm taking AD over 12.5 first half points. I also like this play because Sabonis tends to foul players, right? When he can't guard them, he fouls them. So hopefully this results in Anthony Davis getting to the free throw line pretty early here. Yeah, this first prop here, 12.5 points for AD. First half, 12.5 points. I had to make this long because it's just insane that if he doesn't hit this. All right, so let's get into the next one. The second player prop here is going to be a fantasy score, and it's going to be Jalen Brunson. This video is probably going to be the longest video I've ever made, but Jalen Brunson, I like his over 35.5 fantasy points against the Detroit Pistons. So I like this for a few reasons. One, let's just take a quick look at opponent averages real quick. This is on RotoWire, by the way. I know you guys leave a lot of comments to me where you can get these stats. You have to pay for RotoWire, by the way. But anyways, NBA fantasy points. Pistons giving up 56 NBA fantasy points to the point guard position. Second most points to the point guard position in the NBA. They're giving up the third most points overall to the point guard position. Rebounds, they're giving up the most rebounds to the point guard position. And assists, they're giving up I don't know where they land on assists. Right here, down here. 8 assists per game to the point guard position. But let's take a look at this here. So point guards versus the Pistons this season. FanDuel. Right, 35.5 is all we need. So 36.9, you can see here, hit the over. So pretty much every player, in my opinion, that is like a legitimate starting point guard with 30 plus minutes a game has pretty much smashed the over on this one. Drew Holiday, and then FanDuel again. FanDuel scoring is the exact same as NBA PrizePicks, by the way. Like the breakdown's the exact same. So Drew Holiday had 36.9. Deontay had 38 and 45. Drew Holiday had 47. Steph Curry had 48. Trae Young had 49. Trae Young had 55, and Tyrese Halliburton had 57. Okay, if we take a look at Jalen Brunson, he hit the over on this one in 3 straight games. He had 39, 40, 38. They got blown out by the Brooklyn Nets. This is a horrible game for the Knicks overall. So I definitely am hoping, and I think there's going to be a bounce back game here for Jalen Brunson. In this game, Jalen Brunson fantasy points this season, he's hit the over on this one 7 times, 35, 36, 38, 39, 39, 40, and 57. Don't want to get too deep into this, going with a pure gut play. The matchup is terrific. We've seen point guards really, really feast against the Pistons this season. I mean, if we just go this based off points, I mean, 24, 25, 26, 26, 32, 35, 36 points for these point guards. There's no reason for Jalen Brunson to not have this over on this one, in my opinion. Again, we can't control these poor shooting nights from these players, but based on paper, based on the research, based on the due diligence, you guys, Jalen Brunson over 35.5 fantasy points should hit the over. All right, that's all I got to say. Let me know in the comments below you guys feel about these props. We're taking AD over 12.5 first half points. I put this in Patreon last night when I saw this line come out. I'm gravitating towards it, guys. So again, if he doesn't hit this, he sucks. He's horrible. We're banning him from YouTube videos. Jalen Brunson over 35.5 fantasy points is the second play. Let me know in the comments below you guys feel about these props. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on this video, and as always, let's cash.